Did you know you speak 3 languages already? We're going to talk about it on today's podcast.
Hi, my name is Michael Johnson. I'm a ballroom dance professional, a life coach, and a peak performance expert. I'm part of a group of motivated people who are dedicated to attaining emotional mastery and unlocking our full potential. We've realized life is a dance. The ups and downs can spin you out of your mind, but it's time to take back control. It's time to become a lifer. We don't believe others are responsible for how we feel. In fact, we don't believe anyone can make us feel anything. We are a new breed of overachievers. Emotional mastery is our journey, and unlocking our full potential is the key. Welcome to the journey. We are lifers, and this is Magic for Life.
What's up, lifers? Michael Johnson here with the Magic for Life podcast. I'm excited that you're here today, and we're going to talk about that. Did you know that you speak already 3 languages? What the heck am I talking about? Well, listen, I've been studying linguistics for almost 20 years now. And one of the cool things about us as humans is that we come intrinsically with 3 languages that we speak already. How cool is that? 3 languages already that you know how to speak. So what are they? Well, you know the obvious one because we're communicating in it right now. You speak English. Well, it's easy, right? But I'm not talking about the languages because we all speak languages. You might have a number of languages. You might speak 2 or 3 different languages, and that is indeed true. However, those are just the words that you use, and those words are representations of what you know is true. So let's take, for example, cow. You know the word cow. And when I say cow, you have in your mind a cow. So I want you to imagine that cow right now. So think about it. Let's go ahead. Imagine a cow. Imagine what it looks like. Imagine what it sounds like. And imagine how big it is. Okay, do you see that cow as a movie or do you see it as a picture? What do you imagine when you think of a cow? Right? Maybe you've pet a cow before. Maybe you have seen one in person at a zoo, or maybe a farm, or maybe you were riding down the path or on a bike ride and there was one in a cage somewhere. Okay, so now, right now, think about it. And I'm going to say tell me, but if you can, comment in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube, or even just think about it. Say it out loud. What is your cow? And now here we go. A cow is big and black, and it has little mini horns, and it is huge, and it goes, right? Oh, no, wait. Is that not the cow that you described? Right? Because there's lots of different types of cows. So you might have described one that was black and white. Maybe it was black with white spots, or maybe it was white with black spots. Or maybe you envisioned a brown cow. I don't know. What did you imagine as a cow? You see, we have the word cow, but if you're a farmer and you know a lot about cows, maybe you have a lot of different words for cow. I know that my buddy grew up around cows. He loves cows. Not really, but he had a lot of different names for cows. And usually he would call people names that had to do with cows, depending on how cooperative they were with him. He's a funny guy. So the point is that you and I might only have one word for cow, and well, he might have 20. That's it. And there might be a bunch of different types of cows. And I'm sorry if you do know a lot about cows and I'm messing it up. But the truth of the matter is we use that language and we can have a shortcut essentially to understanding each other. If I say, watch out for the cow, you might have a different representation of that cow, because what I might be looking at is a bull with sharp horns that is charging at you. And what you might have as a representation of a cow is one that gets milked and just kind of looks at you like, what do you want? Right? So we might have a very different feeling or thought about what a cow is. All right. So we use our language and our conscious mind to create our thoughts and the language that we learn to speak in. Maybe you know multiple languages. That's cool. Those are just different words to represent your language that you use for your conscious thought. Now, what's one of your other languages? Well, you use your body. And you've heard of body language, right? I call these our programs because once you use your conscious mind to install programs into your body runs those programs. You've heard of muscle memory, haven't you? Well, we go through shooting a free throw, playing basketball, and we do it 100,000 times, right? And we teach our body the program. And when we get up to the free throw line to shoot a basketball, and our body goes through the program. Now, if you haven't run that program 100 times, then the obvious is going to happen. You may miss, you may make it, you may not make it. It may be weird or ugly shot, or it might go off the backboard, or it might roll in off the rim, or whatever, based off of how many times you've actually taken that shot. But we can create body language, right? And this is our muscle memory. These are the programs that you run all the time. Okay, well, that should make a lot of sense. But guess what? There are tons of programs. You see, you have programs for everything. That's called your subconscious. Your subconscious can run these programs all the time. All the time, you're running thousands and thousands and maybe billions of programs, right? I don't know how you measure that, but you're blinking right now. You're breathing right now. You're digesting. Your blood is pumping. Your heart is moving. You are running billions of programs, not to mention the ones that you've installed. You see, how many times have you driven to work and not remembered the drive? You see, you installed that program by doing it every day, over and over and over again, doing the same thing every day. And so you installed a program for the body to go through. In the meantime, your mind, your conscious mind was thinking about other things, right? So there's another language. And that's a language that's very interesting to understand, right? We talk to that portion, those programs, with our language, with our form of communication. And that's huge. And we have one more language that we all speak, okay? And that is the language of the soul. I call that our emotions, right? Because your emotions are the language of the soul. When you have an emotion fill you up, it's your soul talking to you. It's something greater than the words, and it's sometimes inexplicable. You see, describing an emotional feeling, some language of the soul, is rough. It is challenging because sometimes you just don't have the words. You have a feeling, and the body language is trying to express something, but it's going, I know programs. And your language is going, I got to find a word. I got to find some eloquent way of describing what it is that's coming out of my soul. But it's challenging. It's our emotional contact. It's our emotional language that we're talking with, right? And so what I want to tell you about right now is these three languages are not necessarily things that we've worked on. Maybe you've worked on your language skills consciously. Maybe you even have a hobby or a skill that has taught you how to communicate with your body and create programs. Maybe you've even created through your conscious mind and through your body habits that you can do so that you get things done instantly without having to think about them. So maybe you've installed some great programs. But have you learned to communicate with your soul? Has your soul learned to communicate with you properly? Have you learned the language of your soul, the emotions? Right? Now, here's the thing. We need to improve our communication between those three languages and our communication outward of those three languages. And you have to get that done soon. Because when did you learn these things? Well, maybe in the first 7 years of your life, you learned about how to run programs, and you ran those programs. And maybe you're running programs that you didn't install. In fact, those programs also include your emotions, the language of your soul. And so maybe some of the programs that you're running, you didn't even install. So it's time to take back control. It's time to get in and learn those language from the conscious mind to the programs to the emotions in the soul. And when you can learn to use those to communicate better, wow, wow, what kind of possibilities can you open up? What kind of success can you find? What kind of things can you take your life to the next level? Because you've learned how to communicate better. A great man said, the quality of our communication is the quality of our life, Mr. Anthony Robbins. And he's right. The better we can communicate, the better we can communicate to ourselves, and the better we can communicate outward, the better the quality of our life. I invite you to check out how you're communicating. And I'd love to help you. If you would like some help, send me an email, info@magicforlife.com. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to help you out. If you haven't picked up a copy of my new book, it's called everyminutebook.com. everyminutebook.com. You can go check it out. It's the secrets. I think I have a copy here, actually. Right? The emotional mastery secrets for the dance of life. Guys, go check it out. It's free. I'll pay for the book. You pay for the shipping. How do you go wrong? You can't go wrong for learning something like this. And these are the things that we're going to talk about. We talk a lot about the emotions, the language of your soul. I hope to see you on the other side. Of course, if you have questions or comments, put them in the comments down below. And of course, if you know somebody that this will help, please share it with them. Please share it with them. Help us to get this great message out to the universe. We want everybody to know, and we want to help everybody be able to learn to communicate better with the multiple languages that you already know how to speak. Let's do it. We'll see you on the other side every minute. Bye-bye.
Hey lifers, we expect upgrades to the base operating functions of the things like our phones, cars, and even refrigerators. Why then has it not been made a priority that we upgrade the operating systems of our emotional states? We dance around the subject of emotional mastery from a young age. We have so much more knowledge in today's world, yet we're still teaching outdated methods of emotional education, if any are being taught at all. It's time for a change. It's time for an upgrade to our emotional education. Let me help you learn how to do that. Pick up your free copy of Every Minute at everyminutebook.com.